Christopher! Christopher! Christopher!
Somebody's had their coffee this morning.
I've had two coffees later. Hey, I'm in so many trades right now. Yeah, I'm into. Facebook Live. How many views we got? One.
All right, and good morning, traders. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, depending, of course, on where you are in the world. Welcome to the Forex Trading Lounge. This is, of course, your host, Christopher Guzman. And joining me, of course, is my co-host, Richard Hooper. Rich, good morning, mate.
Morning, mate.
Rich is like super duper cheery this morning,
Probably the
which
happiest
is out of
ever.
character. It's out of character. It's nice though. So whatever coffee he's got, I'm gonna go on Amazon after the show and order him a lot more of it.
It's not just the coffee, mate.
Well, Rich has also got a surprise for us this morning. So, Rich, I don't know if you've got the show streaming in the background or anything, or up on a screen, but what I'm about to do is I'm going to show them exactly what you sent me on WhatsApp. So, here we go.
Go on then.
Did you wake up feeling good? The light,
Yeah.
the wind, and the smell and the sound.
I found my new vibe, man. That's what I found.
Listen, man.
That's the trading vibe. What's not vibey is this trade not doing anything right now. It's losing.
Well, so
that's not a vibey.
So that's how we're starting our week. That happened.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed, mate. Like I said, folks, there's something up with Rich today. I'm the grumpy one this morning, and he's the happy one. Bit of a role reversal.
Well, you know, trends have to reverse, mate.
Yeah, no, agreed.
And this one's got a lot of weight behind it.
This friggin' dollar needs to carry on bullish as well. I want to see it.
To be fair, it is clear roads on my thing.
Is it clear roads for bullishness?
Clear roads. I ain't got nothing in the way until I got nothing in the way till about 106.20, mate.
Oh, fantastic! Good. Well, that's really welcome news. I'm really glad to hear that. Once again, everybody, welcome to the Forex Trading Lounge. Happy Monday. This is, of course, brought to you by yours truly, Kickstart Trading. We're going to get started in just a moment.
I just want to check something because.
All right. So, as we said before, we fired things up. We are looking at dollar strength this morning. I've been looking at dollar strength. I've been waiting for dollar strength all weekend, really, because I got in some trades on Friday, and as I was saying to Rich on Friday, it's a bit of a roller coaster for me Friday, trading wise. I should not have been trading, so that's problem number one. I had no intention of trading. In my defense, I had no intention of trading.
This is very interesting for me to listen to right now. By the way, guys, I don't know about this update.
Yeah, no, you're getting this live. Rich is getting this at the same time as we're just getting live reaction to it. I did that purposely, so the audience is my protector.
I'm just going to do this for the next 10.
Probably should. I've been doing that for 3 days now. So problem number one, shouldn't have been trading on Friday because it's a Friday, and part of our trade plan is to go Monday through Thursday. And I just thought, me being clever, hey, if there's a good opportunity, I'm gonna take it because you know what? Because I'm greedy. That's what it is. Because I'm being greedy. So if I'm being honest with myself, I was being greedy. That's what it is. And it's important that you're honest with yourself, folks, if you're gonna progress as a trader, right? Because we all make mistakes, and that's kind of the point of starting the show this way. Is because we all make mistakes. The difference and what sets us apart is how we handle those mistakes and how we come back from them. But we'll come back to that. More on the mistakes first. So me in all my brilliant infinite wisdom and my greed, uh, I decided, you know what, there was a really good looking opportunity, um, particularly on pound dollar. Pound dollar was what started the whole trouble train. um, and so because pound dollar, I still firmly believe pound dollar is ultimately headed to its anticipated 144 on the 15-minute time frame, which is at 138.11. So I'm still pretty bullish on pound dollar, you know, medium to long term, but that would, in theory, require dollar weakness. I mean, in actuality and in practice, you know, it may shape up differently because currencies go in and out of, you know, dip in and out of correlation. Majority of the time, we know what drives what, but obviously, you know, things change, right? It's not always exactly the same. Anyway, so I'm still bullish, you know, ultimately to the 144. And as you know, Rich, and as for anyone who's been watching the show for a little while now knows, I'm bullish even further beyond that because of some larger time frame targets, daily in particular. Anyway, I took a buy at 137.12 is the price point that kind of set the whole thing off. And I noticed that there was room for a bit of dollar weakness across the board. So I said, "Oh, great! You know what? This looks really good. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up." One problem with that. So I knew it was a Friday, but I said, "You know what? It's okay. You know, um, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this a long time, right? It's okay." I forgot that it was not just any old Friday. It was the first Friday of the month, meaning it was non-farm payroll Friday.
I was waiting slash hoping that
Yeah.
the words I forgot weren't
Rookie
gonna come
mistake.
out there, man.
Rookie mistake. Rookie. Clearly.
Maybe you should do the course.
Do you know what? I've got a great course that I can take.
Cue advert for course. Wow, I just love how creative you are. I love it, man. Problem, action, solution. It's what the government do,
all
man.
All in the same conversation. All in the same discussion. I love it.
It's what the government do, man. Any conspiracy theorists watching now? You're going to be on a field day.
Well, you know, it goes without saying, you know, I teach this stuff in my course, in the Ultimate Forex Trading course. I go over extensively why you shouldn't do pretty much everything that I did on Friday. Because then when I realized that it was non-farm, oops. And that locked in the first round of losses. And I should have just left it there. You know what? I should have just chalked it up. Okay, that's the mistake. Let me not do that again. It was a small loss then, right? So, or you know, comparatively small loss then. So, okay, do you know what? Let me just. It is what it is. I made the mistake. Let me cut my losses, walk away, come back to next week. Didn't do that again. I got greedy. Said, okay, I need to make up for those losses. Oops. And so set off the chain of events, leading us to where we are this morning, where I have been on bated breath all weekend, waiting for the dollar to pop bullish, because where things finally ended up Friday was with me saying, right, okay, you know, we've had the nice big pullback on the dollar now. I'm bullish on the dollar at the moment for all kinds of reasons, which we will cover in a moment. We'll start getting into that, and you'll understand why. I promise. But you know, where things left off Friday was with me basically positioning for dollar strength to come kick back into play. Thankfully, as you can see this morning, that is starting to happen.
Oh my God, I didn't have a look at Friday. Let me have a look at Friday a minute.
It wasn't even that bad for me to have lost the way I did. It's purely, that is purely a case of my trader psychology running amok and it's been a long time since that's happened. It's been a long time since that's happened. But it does and it can happen. So two things, folks. Number one, obviously, where I'm going with this is, I hope
His
it's
advert
obvious.
for the course.
I'm going to reset my course. That's where I'm going with this. No.
Yeah.
Where I'm going with this is obviously, the importance of trader psychology, right? Guys, people like me create rules that to a lot of new traders may seem arbitrary. It may seem like we've pulled these things out of thin air. It may say, well, how do you know that, 80% of the time this is likely to happen, or, that when the market does this, that this should be the likely reaction. And it may seem like we're just making it up sometimes, right? No, it comes from experience. It comes from experience. And there's a reason that guys like me write the rules that we do and then teach those rules to new traders, because it is critically important. Just as important is your risk management, right? Part of the reason why things got out of hand for me Friday was because I violated another condition that I always advise against, which is over trading because you're overcompensating, right? Because the losses compound, right? So, because you take the first round of losses, and then you're like, shoot, I've got to get back. I got to make that back. So you get back, and it's clouded your judgment already, and now you've sustained a second round of losses, and now it clouds your judgment even further, right? Stop me if this sounds foreign, Rich, because I'm sure everybody goes through this at some point, right?
I'm not gonna stop you. This is gold, mate.
Yeah, it's no, it's true. It's true. The most important things in trading are your psychology, your risk management, your risk and equity management, your understanding of the market, i.e., your fundamental grasp of how the market works, because that is what's saving me now, and that is what will save you, right? And last is your strategy, believe it or not. In fact, the strategy is irrelevant, almost. Right? So look, here's the deal, folks. Many mistakes made Friday. I've paid the price for it. I've basically erased like 70% of last week's gains, maybe more, 80% of last week's gains, which means we're still up overall, but this is not what I did Friday. Is not at all what I teach, and in a way, I'm glad it happened because it gives me a chance to talk about it, and to come to this from the perspective of this literally just having happened over the weekend. And it stressed me out. I'm not gonna lie, it stressed me out over the weekend. What if the dollar doesn't pop bullish? What if because non-farm was terrible. I think it was like 49,000 jobs. Non-farm was horrendous. It was like the worst non-farm report we've had in a long time. And here I am.
We were in that. Yes. Come on.
Here I am going, oh yeah, baby, dollar strength. Shoot.
Mate, did you take that then? At what level? What level did you get in there?
Which one?
Dollar yen.
Yeah, I'm in at 105.49. So I'm up about 16 pips at the moment.
Mate, that's beautiful, by the way. 105.47 is my, well, it's resistance really, but if it can hold above it, which to be honest, it's just come back down to it, it's bounced, so it's no support, mate, it's off.
See that?
I reckon that's right. Off to the 75. And see if it can break the 75. Mate, that ain't coming back till the 20. To the 106.20. And you better have all of last week's lost money on it.
Bear with me.
Because that is no support, man. I reckon you should double down.
I reckon let's not do that.
Double up on that one.
But it's good. No, it's definitely good. I'm actually positioned for that move across the board. Meaning, if you look at dollar pound dollar. You can see my position on pound dollar there. So finally, pound dollar has started to go back in the positive. And just to show you, I mean, when I say I was stressed over the weekend, look at this. All from Friday, look at where this left off, and then all morning this morning as well. It came back and was testing these highs again. And I'm here like,
Okay.
Look at this, because I got in. I actually had set this up, and it came back in.
Was this Friday?
Yeah.
Oh.
This literally just like came back.
Oh my god!
It kissed me. It kissed my order, like literally just kissed it, and then went negative immediately. And this is the first time it's going positive again since. And that was all.
I can see you've got It's interesting you took that, mate. With that counter trend there, plus you've got your main trend line. I can't believe you did that on Friday.
Larger time frame.
I can't believe it. I'll get it, like, you know, dollar long, pound. Yeah, I get it, pound weakness, but okay, yeah. All right, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
We were actually over here, as you can see.
So,
and this was actually the candle that kissed me, and then look at what it did ever since. But the reason I did this was because two reasons. Number one, we have resistance by way of the backside of this trend line here. So we're coming in the zone of resistance. And if you look, you know, when I say zone of resistance, obviously that's an approximation, but you get kind of, you know, if you look at recent history, you can see how prices interacted within this region, can't you?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's reason number two. Reason number three is that this 2-hour consolidation range, which was absolutely lovely to me, has been absolutely lovely to me for most of it, and only just recently did my head in the way it did. But that's, you know, that I'm banking on that holding and, you know, continuing to hold, because it's giving signs, and was then that it would, including even with this bullish candle here, even though we closed above resistance, because this right here is obviously resistance around the 37.12, 37.15, and then up to 37.20 range. So, you know, this actually closed above resistance, making this support, and it held the support. Look, it came down, touched, rallied right back up again. You see?
That's a weird set of candles, that.
It is, yeah. This is a really.
That's strange, that.
This was just very tough. You have a huge gap over the weekend right here. A humongous gap, because there's Sunday night, 10 p.m. See that? So that look at the close.
Look at that open, man.
Open. So this is what actually gave me hope as well, and why I left these positions on. So another little nugget of gold for you. If you check the spreads on Sunday night before everything kicks off Monday morning, you'll get a good indication of where the market is likely popping in the morning to start the week. So, for example, if we left off on Friday at a high point, for example, and then and then come Sunday, there's a widening spread, and the gap is like, you know, 3, 5, 6 plus pips. It's a good indication that we're going the other way. So if we ended up, you know, high and bullish on Friday, and then come Sunday night, you look at those spreads, and they're widening, but the prevailing price is, you know, going down. So the high price is remaining roughly the same. It's the lower price that's going down, and thus widening the gap. It's a good indication that, you know, you're getting a pop the other way.
We got there in the end.
We did get there in the end. Yes, this is we're digging into like the bowels of
trading.
Of trading.
Trading mechanics, the underbelly of trading mechanics.
We're getting into, you know, we've pulled the engine.
This is where you get oily, guys.
Yeah,
roll your sleeves up, man.
We're in with the pistons, mate. We're in the cylinders now. And this is unnecessary stuff, really. But
yeah.
Little nuggets, though. Little nuggets that so that gave me hope that this would in fact come back in, because I did see that widening gap Sunday night. So
well, it'll be interesting to see how this 3,700 level holds up. To be fair, because I have my market cap is 3,700. In fact, no, sorry. My first level of support is 3,700, and then the bottom for the day is 3,675. But before that, I've got an L7 on the pound dollar, which is at 86.
Right.
And I've had a buy which has failed in the last 10 minutes at 3,725. Then I've got in again at 3,710 long. Then I've got another buy at 3,686 long. And they're all within the trading strat of the system. However, dollar's got a lot of strength. Dollar's going long. Pound, in theory, should see continued weakness, mate. But there is some support to get through it. There is some support. Obviously, my strats are like 10 and 15 points. So, but I think you're gonna get that pound weakness, mate.
I hope so. We'll see what happens.
At least, by the end of the day, we've got a clear day for news as well.
Yeah.
It's a lively day for news. Don't ask me what that accent was, man.
I wasn't planning on it.
I think I was talking to my mate in Australia this morning. He's an expat.
Oh yeah.
Expat immigrant. Asylum seeker in Australia. And he's got a Aussie accent now.
Get out of here.
Yeah. A bit like you turning Scouse, mate.
So I have a Scouse accent now, do I?
It's getting there.
I
just need to watch more football.
There's quite a few people just in this building alone who'd say I need to work on my Scouse accent if that's the case.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic. Tranmere Rovers around the corner from you, mate. It's a good team to start watching soccer with.
See this 105.6 for dollar yen. 105.63 is a level for me that needs to be monitored here. It's the B high basically on the 2 hour.
Dollar yen.
Yeah, dollar yen.
Mate, if it goes beyond 105.70, I've genuinely got an alert set for 105.70, right? It's a sell zone on my algo. I've got a 75 on the 15-minute on the matrix system. If it can beat that 70-75 level, it's flying to 106.20, I reckon.
Yeah.
On dollar yen.
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement with that. See, for me, it needs to break 105.63 because that's the B high. That's actually what the market interacted with on Friday on news from NFP. It was sitting right here, and then here you go, NFP, 49,000 jobs get. But that's actually further proof in my mind. That's further proof, right, that the technicals are king. It's not about the fundamentals, really. It's the technicals. Think of that. 49,000 jobs were added to the U.S. economy in January 2021. Think of that. 49,000. That's like there are stadiums in the U.S. that fill more seats than that. Like, you kidding me? That's nothing. That's horrendous.
And one of them fancy making sure our Facebook goes on live.
Hey?
Do you reckon one of them jobs should be making sure our Facebook goes live?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Oh, I'm in the green right now.
Helping us with our plethora of tech issues.
I've got 3 greens right now, mate.
What are you in?
Euro Aussie, Aussie dollar, pound yen, dollar yen. No, I got
okay.
3. I've genuinely got Euro Aussie about to win the day. I
Euro
sold at
Aussie.
570000.
Let's have a look. Let me pull up Euro Aussie.
Yeah, let's have a look at your sentiment for Euro Aussie, mate. We've not done any projection yet.
No, nothing yet. Let's
Right, guys, if anyone's listening and watching, we're going to start actually analysing some charts. Mate, I am slightly ashamed of what you did last week.
I am very ashamed of what I did last week.
As my friend, business partner, and host of the show, and master and guru and advocate of trading education all around the world, to have not closed the trades by midday on Thursday and the pound went mental, and to continue to go into the NFP on the first Friday of the month, and to still consider himself that much of a master that he can chase his tail and win the day. I am hoping that that's the last time that happens this year. Otherwise, we may have to cancel the show. Nah, it's all scripted, guys. It didn't really happen. It was good that you thought about doing that over the weekend, Chris. I weren't expecting the lesson that we needed to teach traders.
Right? That's what I thought. I said, you know, what we need a good conversation piece to start the show Monday. So what could I do? I know. You know what? I'm gonna kick my own ass in the market today, so that we have something to talk about Monday.
I get it, man. Win unity with fading traders all around the world from the first minute. It's brilliant. It's exactly the curriculum that we need.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
I'm super impressed, man.
Right, so that being said, in terms of Euro Aussie, so we've got a break of this downtrend line, and right at the backside of it, we're getting a really nice sign of a U-turn here, really nice sign that support is holding. I'm hoping that you're saying Euro Aussie is going long. Or that you're thinking Euro Aussie is going long.
Oh, so on the system, on the matrix system, I have 5698. Sorry, no, 5700 for a short. It's not the best trend, but it has since set in at a relatively newish low in the short term. It has come up to hit the 1 hour, and I'm in it for a short, mate.
You're in it for a short.
Only a short. You
gotta watch
5700. 5700 for a short.
5700 for a short. So is that 15 for 15?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're only looking to 85.
Yeah. So far, I'm up 4 pips. It was a bit better than that. It was up at 10 earlier. Right, so but
let's have a look here.
Yeah. And to be fair, as far as the candles go, they're relatively healthy right now. Mate, you're on the 2 hour.
Yeah, the interaction that you're getting at that level is good. It's a good sign if you're only. I mean, for short moves like yours, it's a bit easier to see this. Hang on. So the high is 5701, and I'm looking at 5674.
That's what I've got going on. Pound dollar. Come on then, fella. Pound dollar, we got a nice little morning star on the old 15, and I'm in pound dollar for a long as well.
You're in pound dollar for a long.
From 3710, it's up 7 pips just now.
Yeah, that's not what I want. It's not
Just want a short-term pullback, man. And then you can have all the pips you want.
I don't want you to even have the short-term pullback, man. This needs to just fall in a straight line, doesn't it?
Well, I like catching falling knives.
Yeah, I can
really?
see. Yeah, so 3,700 obviously on pound dollar is a very, very stubborn level. I mean, very stubborn level.
Yep, and I'm in it.
Yeah. You got in at 3,700. Oh, this didn't come down.
Yeah, 37.10.
Oh, you got in at 37.10. Okay, so you're looking for it to come up to 25.
Yeah, but within this strat, I can pull out at 10. It's not ideal. To be honest, the way it's set up now, I should actually be looking at getting out maximum. The maximum would be 25, but it's if it gets there.
That 25 is a 5.0 fib. It's a 50% fib.
Oh, have you done the old YI? Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously assuming this low hold, but it looks like it probably will.
Yeah, I don't like the Langle, mate.
It's not a good angle. It's not a good angle.
I think I'm getting out, actually.
It's a good angle for me.
I think I'm going to get out of this.
It's a good angle for me, because my resistance here that I've been tracking for a while now is 37.20.
I'm out of that, mate.
So yeah, I would agree with that, because it would have to break 37.20, obviously, wouldn't it? To break 37.20, that's a strong level, a stubborn level. And there she goes. There she goes. She's coming down.
Yeah, I got out of that because basically I'm a wimp. No, the way the strategy set is if you're not reaching your 10 pip point by the time the 1 minute catches up with the 60, the picture's changed, and then you take a look at the Langle, which I didn't like it. So if I'm on my surfboard right now, that's like the equivalent of seeing a wave. That's a little bit too big for me, man. I need to be getting out of the water, and I'm not the strongest swimmer, I'll be honest.
So get out of the water.
Get out of it, man.
Get out.
Whilst you've still got your board attached to your ankle, get out of the water.
That's it.
However, I will get in when it gets down to the 86 though, mate.
When it gets down to the 86?
Yeah. And then I'll get in again at 75.
So euro dollar, have a look at this. Euro dollar, we've pulled back to a 78.6 on this. So the next level here is 2023. So I reckon euro dollar.
That's a nice candle.
Fall to 2023. It almost made it there. It's not quite there yet though. So we're probably gonna need a low to form here. So another candle of pullback, then a continued fall to 2023, and then another pullback at that point. So something like this.
To be honest, right? What's your overall sentiment for euro dollar? Because
I'm still bearish on euro dollar for now, because we're chasing that unfulfilled 38.2 on the 2 hour, aren't we? We broke that inner trend line. Let me go to euro dollar. Yeah, we broke the innermost. We broke the secondary trend line. We had this unfulfilled 38.2 at 17.55. So I'm still very much bearish on this, down to 17.55 as long as we remain below. And if you look at what's happened, right, we broke, tested, came back for a retest, and what's happened here, I mean, look at this. Literally, that exact trend line, that exact level is cutting across, is holding as resistance. You see that? Plus, if you look at the stochastic RSI, that's showing that we're sitting at 82, so squarely in the sell zone, and U-turning nicely and coming up. Plus, on the MACD, you can see the bulls are certainly losing a lot of steam here. Kind of see the steps falling down. And you can see that we're actually about to get a cross of the cross of our signal lines on the MACD as well, indicating a sell. So yeah, I'm still very much bearish on euro US dollar. I think there's a lot of room to the downside here, especially now that it's had that huge pullback on Friday. I think there's plenty of opportunity to the downside here.
I see, man. I see. Yeah, I've got quite a weak 1 hour long trend. But it's in a white zone as well. White zone phase 4. It's collapsing. I think it's done. It's run out of steam for a long.
On euro dollar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like in the short term. When I say short term, I'm talking within today.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll be doing anything with that now. I'm not doing nothing with euro dollar now.
Let's see, my entry on euro dollar was 20.32.
The only time I would touch euro dollar now is if it comes within 10 pips of the 2100 and 10 pips of the 1950. I don't even care about euro dollar unless it does that. So are you lining up to get in here, mate? Are you gonna do some?
I'm in.
Oh, you're already in on this?
All these, yeah. So that's the thing. So it'll be it's a pretty relaxing morning for me this morning, as long as things keep going all right.
Because so do you want to go through? Do you want to go through the Langle?
Yes, I will do. Let me just update this.
Let's do that, man.
So I'll give an update basically on where I am across the board. What I've got going on across the board.
Give me that update, man.
I'll give you the update. Whatever you want, Rich. Whatever you want, just for you. Right. Okay. Let's take it from the top. Let's go from pound dollar. Okay, so pound dollar, I'm in on a sell. I've been selling from 37.10 was my entry point, was it? Hold on. Yeah, 37.10. 37.10 was my entry point. I've got a stop up at 37.55, and I'm looking to take profit at 36.42. My profit target, as you can see, is down at the bottom of the range, this consolidation range, which I've been tracking for some time now. This range is also present on the 2-hour time frame. If we kind of zoom out a bit, let's come up to the 2-hour time frame. You can
see mate.
The range right here. Say again.
What's your target? 3,700?
No, 3,642.
Okay.
3,642. It's down here. It's right here. So it's at about the halfway mark inside of this it's actually before the halfway mark inside of this consolidation range. Which, as I mentioned at the top, I was banking on this come the end of the day Friday, and how I left things off for last week and heading into this week and over the weekend. I was banking on this, hoping for this to come back into the range. It now has. And all indications are pretty strong that continued weakness is
oh, that's lovely, mate. 2 hours there, look. See the old MACD?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really nice. Well, quickly skim to the dollar yen on the 2-hour, mate. I just want to see what the correlation is.
Yeah, look.
Oh.
So you've not got because you've got the same kind of signal occurring on the MACD on dollar yen, but it's happening in the wrong zone, right? This is the sell zone.
No, that should be down the bottom. Now.
Yeah, exactly. So if this were down here, this would be like absolutely gorgeous, but it's
at least you've got a swap over on the 0 line, though.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to remember as well. These are lagging indicators, right? All indicators are lagging. So, price is what matters most, and then indicators second. The fact that the stochastic RSI is, way down here at 31 and change is good. The fact also that we came down to this trend line, this automated trend line, tested it. And here we came in, in the region, tested again, and we got the big bounce that I've been waiting for. That's all very positive signs. Very positive signs. The other thing that would be positive here, the other thing that would confirm for me um, that I'm going to be okay on this, two things really. So, first of all, just from pure price action, 105.50, that sucker needs to hold, right? That 105.50 level has been the bane of my existence all weekend long. That sucker needs to hold. If it doesn't hold, I'm in trouble because, as you know, dollar yen is a big driver, right?
I
So
got 47, yeah, 105.47.
there you go. Yeah. So 105 for me, it's 105.50. If 105.50 doesn't hold, then I'm not holding. But so far, so good. So that's good. Um, the other thing here is I want to do a measurement from the high to the low, and if we close, so you can see we're still not out of the woods here, mate, because this is a
Oh, yeah.
2 hour time frame. We got 44 minutes to go before the close of this candle.
Mm.
If this were to close looking the way it does, then I'd say okay, things are looking pretty okay. I'm okay.
Wait another 2 hours.
The problem is we have to wait 44 minutes for this to close before I get the confirmation that this candle is promising if it closes looking the way it does. Now, the reason I say that is because if it closes looking the way it does, or better yet, if it comes back up and erases this price rejection here, right?
Yeah.
Comes up and closes up here, we're well beyond that 50% mark between the high and the low of this move, which indicates a shift in momentum, right? Indicates a shift in a turning tide, as it were. Right?
You're on the 65, but no higher than the 75. That'd be good. That'd be nice. That'd be incremental, realistic progression, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think I'm still okay here, but again, I'm not out of the woods because we still got 44 minutes or so to go, which means 3 candles on the 15. And as you can see, plenty of opportunity for a pullback here to come back and test support again and then rally again. But I mean, what we're seeing in terms of the pullback, I've just dropped down to the 15-minute now to get a better sense on the smaller time frame here. This is perfectly normal what we're witnessing, right? Because 105.61, as you can see, it's a level I've been tracking as a level of resistance to be taken out. We hit it. Now we've come back to test. So far, so it's past support, past resistance becomes future support, and so now what was resistance and is now support, at least for now, appears to be holding. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
As long as we see more of that, right? So the next time I should imagine that happening or envision that happening, right, would be here, right? See what I'm saying? So push.
Hopefully.
Hopefully that would that's the ideal. That's what I'm hoping for right there. That's what I'm hoping and praying for right there.
Well, if it can break that 170 and we've got a sustained break above, I'm confident it'll reach the 106.20 and your target's 105.86, yeah?
Yeah. 105.86. Now, something very, very promising here is you can see how the market came down to this trend line. And we got this big price rejection. And what it left behind, arguably, those are tweezer bottoms.
Yeah.
Right? Tweezer bottoms right at support, followed by an engulfing bull, a large engulfing bull. And not just one, but two. So that's quite good. That right there, this little move right in here is very good. It's a very good sign. It's a very positive sign. Providing things don't go tits up on us between now and the top of the hour.
I'm just looking at what the other currencies are doing.
Yeah, so let's carry on with the analysis here, or the update here. So dollar CAD, I'm actually looking at dollar CAD for a buy, and you know what? It's actually setting up. So let me get in this.
I wouldn't be surprised if dollar comes back to the 150 before going again,
105.50.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, well, like I say, that's my threshold. 105.50 is my level to end levels. Right? That's like if it doesn't hold, if 105.50 doesn't hold, I'm in trouble. Simple. Dollar CAD, we're inside of this range on dollar CAD. We've broken back into the buy zone here. Huge engulfing bull. Again, been waiting on dollar strength to come in and pop this. Let me look on the 2-hour time frame and see what we've got going on. So on the 2-hour, look at the MACD. Beautiful little signal happening inside of the buy zone on MACD. Stochastic RSI, we're sitting at 21 and U-turning. So, I mean, that's just an ideal picturesque buying opportunity right there from what I can see, right? Sitting at support.
That's good.
Beautiful. That's gorgeous, right? We've got room back at least to that automated trend line right there, in my estimation. And now in terms of opportunity here, the only problem here, the only thing that throws a bit of a monkey wrench into this is the fact that we don't really have a strong bullish formation until now, right? This candle's nice and strong. It's an engulfing bull. That's nice and healthy. That looks good. But all the candles that came before it, they're all dojis, mate. All of them. Every last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 hours of nothingness.
We do have confluence in dollar yen strength, though.
We do.
And
we certainly do.
And so we can take some confidence there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let me go down to the 15. So in terms of an actual opportunity here, I do have this candle here, which is a cross. It's kind of a hybrid, really, between a piercing line.
I'm gonna call that one a chicane.
A what?
A chicane. It's gonna be a new name. Between that.
What the hell is a chicane?
In a racing track, it goes.
Oh yeah.
Can you see? Let's create. We've just created a new candlestick formation, Matt.
That's clever. I like that.
So stick a square around that, and it's going to be called a chicane.
You heard it here, folks. It happened here first.
The KST chicane strategy. Stick 10% on. Hey, you never know.
This here, so the combo piercing line / hammer is quite nice. I'm actually quite digging it. Reason I'm digging it is because you can see we had the huge engulfing bull followed by the test. Test wasn't enough to bring us back to even bring us back to the 50% mark. I mean, we did on the next candle, we did come back and test way further, but then you see huge price rejection and it closed above all of our automated T3s, not just one or two, to close above all of them. See that? So very good support there. What I would do is, this is a strategy 1. So what I would do, which is a candlestick scalp, so I would go 10 pips above the high of this piercing line hammer combo, 10 pips below the low, so it's 27.56, and then I want a minimum 1 to 1.5 reward, risk to reward ratio. So 27.84 and 27.56 is 28 in risk, which means 42 in reward. So that would put me at 28.26, which I do like very much. Look at that, Rich. 28.26. What do you think about that target, mate? 28.26.
Where's your stop? 2756.
2756, yeah.
Well, as far as the mathematics go, it obviously works, but I feel like the stop loss could be a tad larger and the take profit could be a little bit closer, you know.
I mean, that would be nice for every trade, wouldn't it?
But your risk to reward ratio would change.
Yeah.
I think, given the fact that dollars, no, looks like it's got strength at the minute and it's holding at a decent price. I mean, one thing you could do is instead of using the stop order, you could wait for a pullback entry.
Yeah, you could do.
Because the dollar is pulling back to some extent, and I do think I wouldn't be surprised if it does come back to that 105.50, mate. And so if that pulls back, then your dollar CAD's gonna pull back a little bit, even if it is a few pips.
Yeah.
And then that way you'd have a more attractive stop loss and take profit.
Well, let's see what happens. I'm going to wait for the close of this candle anyways. We've got 4 minutes to go. So might as well just wait for the close of the candle and see. Because if the candle closed looking the way it does now, then forget it. There's no way, right? Because that doesn't look good at all. But obviously we've got 4 minutes to go, and anything could happen. This could shoot up between now and then. You know what I mean? So let's just wait and see what happens. The fact that the open price has not been exceeded yet is, again, a good sign, but we'll have to see. Because that could be the pullback you're talking about right there, mate. Just that alone. You know what I mean? Could be that quick of a thing.
It could be, mate.
And then it just takes off again.
It could be.
Here's my Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar. I got in.
So you're selling this right now, yeah?
Yeah, I'm in at 7665 was my entry point. Yeah, 7665. With a stop, I've got. Look at this. Look. My stop is 7685. This came up to 7681 this morning, and last night it was.
Oh my God.
7681. But the good news there is, if you look, what that's actually done is that's created a double top right there.
Yeah.
That's a double top, mate. So I'm actually quite happy about that, really. If anything, it looks good. But it goes back to what my mentor told me when I first started learning all those years ago, which is, you've got to have, if you're going to trade, one thing you need is big balls, right? Big cojones. So, your proverbial cojones need to be need to be in good shape. Because look at that, that came within 4 pips of my stop. But I said, you know what? At that point, it's a combination of things. Really, it's a combination of I believe in my analysis and I trust my analysis. So but B, and kind of more importantly, is that at that point, what the hell difference does 4 pips make? Right? Think about that. What difference does 4 pips make? If I get out at 81 because my stop is at 85 and I'm scared that it's going to hit my stop, so you know what? I'll show the market. I'll show them. I'll get out before it can stop me. It's like quitting before you can get fired, right? It's like, yeah, okay, except the problem with that approach is that what you don't realize is that, if you maybe stayed on the job a week more, you might have had a promotion, right? And you've just quit, right? So same thing with the market. At that point, dude, you got 4 pips to go until your stop. What difference does 4 pips make? Honestly, for the chance that the market does go in your direction and works out, and that trade works out for you, what price is it to pay? What price is 4 pips to pay? Honestly, you know what I'm saying? So it's a combination of that, combination of I trust my analysis, and at that point, what the hell have I got to lose? Let it just do its thing. If it doesn't do its thing, okay, I'm out an additional 4 pips. But guess what? The alternative there is if I don't give it that breathing space and I don't just have the discipline to walk away in that situation, then guess what? I've guaranteed the loss at getting out at 81, right? I've locked it in. That's money that's gone and never coming back again, right? So that's the difference. And in my mind, 4 pips is a very small price to pay for the chance that the trade pays off. If it's 40 pips, that's a different story. It's a different conversation. But if it's 4 pips, 5 pips, even 10 pips, what difference does it make? You're already that much upside down. As long as you're managing your risk properly, then what difference does it make? You know what I mean?
Good analogy, mate.
Thank you.
Just quitting the job before getting fired.
Yeah.
And if you wait long enough, you might have just got a promotion. Moral of the story, guys: get fired or get promoted. Never quit.
That's it. Exactly right.
Depending on what the Langle says. I think at the end of the day, people like to have control. And it's understanding in trading whether you're going to have a positive influence on the outcome by taking control.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, you never really ever know until you make a decision and then time transpires and you look back and go, I'm a dickhead. Why did I do that? Or, oh my God, I'm amazing. I could actually tell the future.
Yeah.
With trading, at the end of the day, you've got a strategy. It's got a percentage of success as long as you stick to it. And you just take it and you be there to take those trades in the market. That's it. It's actually that simple.
Yeah.
In theory. Take your trades. If they lose, they lose. If they win, they win. Clearly, you've got a good strategy. Otherwise, why are you bothering? And you wait for your 2 to 1 or your 1.5 to 1 or whatever it is that you do. And at the end of the year, you're up.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some. In theory, if you're doing it right, by the end of it. No, it's true. And there's a balance you need to strike. I just want to add to that, to what I said there quickly, because there's a balance between, because on the one hand I say don't ever get married to a trade, but at the same time you have to balance that with know when it's also probably too late for a divorce as well, right? Just to go into another analogy here. So in other words, when you first take a trade, enough experience under your belt and you'll know within the first couple candles whether that trade's going to work out or not, right? You'll know the likelihood. Obviously you never know for sure until it actually happens, but you'll know the likelihood, right? And that comes with experience. So in that situation, yeah, okay, why stay in a situation where or you have a good understanding that there's a good chance that it's not going to work out favorably for you, right? But if you're married already and you've got kids and you've got a house and a car together and a this and a that, and
walk away from it.
It's a bit of a different situation, isn't it?
Forget him. Yeah. Forget it, man. Just walk away.
Stay tuned after the show, folks, for relationship advice from Richard Hooper.
You got to be ruthless. You got to be ruthless in trading. Well, it's the detachment of emotion, isn't it? Which is easier said than done.
100%, yeah. 100%.
I absolutely love this trade. I'm going to put it on.
Which one?
I'm going to put it on.
At?
I'm joking. No, I've not got trade it on.
Yeah, no, so, to make sense of what I just said.
Yeah, please do. How many viewers did we have?
No, what I mean is look, early on in the trade, if there are signs it's not going to work out, don't be afraid to cut it and find another one. However, the flip side of that is the other extreme. If you're upside down and you're already upside down, but getting out for the sake of saving, 5 pips, 10 pips, when your total risk is 40 pips, 50 pips at plus, it just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? You're better off just holding in that situation. In my opinion, anyway. That's what I do.
Yeah, if you're gonna get out, you want to be getting out about halfway. If you think it's going against you based on X, Y, Z, which you should have a series of rules for, then you want to be getting out maximum halfway, just because at least when you get in your next trade, you're 0.5 down, assuming you put 1% on every trade. At least when you get up one, you've got that money back plus a bit.
So yeah, definitely.
You give yourself that half a trade to play with. I've literally did it myself this morning. I've had 3 trades today. I got out of 2 at the halfway point, and I've won 1.
There you go. See?
So.
And that's called letting your profits run and cutting your losses short.
Yes.
And that's
easier said than done.
It's definitely easier said than done. Yes.
And then what you do is you set up another trade a little bit ahead of the market to get back in. And you keep on doing it and doing it and doing it until you're in the profit.
I feel like we're starting to go off the rails now, mate. What happened? It started off so well.
Cue Spider-Man gif. What's his name? Not the Green Lantern. The Green Goblin, innit? What's the actor's name?
What are you on about?
The GIF.
Oh.
What's his name?
Oh, I can't remember his name now. It's gonna bother me though. I know that much. It's definitely gonna bother me.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter anyway. Moving on. So, what other trades you in? So you've covered.
Yeah, so I'm in. So we covered pound dollar. We covered euro dollar. Did we have a look at Aussie dollar?
We've covered pound yen. Yeah, what's Aussie dollar saying, mate? Because I've actually just closed a sell on that. It is at the 1 hour. I did have. It's not the strongest. It's not the strongest 1 hour long, to be honest. Hence why I closed it at the halfway point. I made reservation. I was like, you know what? It was a setup. It just weren't that great. I do have a trade lined up at the 651 for a long.
Back to 6.6. I could see that.
Preferably.
I could definitely see that because look at where the trend line falls on the 2 hour. So what you're basically banking on is a continued fall right to support, and then right at support, that's where you'd look to get in and get it for.
What is the support though? Can you hold your? It looks about 44.
Yeah, I'd argue between 40 and 45. I'd say, if I had to give a range, I'd say between 40 and 45.
Okay, well, interestingly, I've got a band shade level 3 at 640.
A band shade level 3 at
640, yeah.
640, okay. Ah.
Which is in line with those wicks.
Yeah.
Tips of the wicks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change it now to the 640, which I'm risking missing the train here for the absolute perfect price. But and my low for the day is actually the 643. Okay, so I've got a bit of a dilemma here. I've got a 651 as my first immediate strong support, with the absolute best price being 640. Now I can take it at the 5-1, knowing that I've got a level of strength within 10 pips inside my stop loss, which should serve me, or I gamble, get a better price, risk missing the train, but then have a higher likelihood of achieving my take profit. Assuming it even gets there.
Yeah, but the risk of missing the train is pretty high, though, isn't it?
I think it'll depend where dollar yen is.
Yeah. No, definitely. In fact, let's go back to dollar yen for a second.
I think it's gonna depend where
So,
dollar yen is.
Let me see. Let's go back to dollar yen. Yeah, okay. So we've got 19 minutes to go before the close of this candle. We're currently sitting, the most it popped was, looks like to a 786 in that little move there. So it needs to be 66. Yeah, it does. So 786. Even if it closed exactly where it is now, that's still good. It's still beyond the 50% mark. In fact, the 50% mark is 105.53, which again harkens back to my level, which I've been going on and on and on about all morning, which is 105.50. Right, so 105.53 is the actual technical 50% mark of this move, but I'm just going to go ahead and call it 105.50 because that's my level. So 105.50, you know, is really, if we manage to close above 105.50, that's the first sign that things are looking pretty a-okay for the dollar yen. Now, there is possibility that we get a pullback here. If we go down to the 2-hour, to the 15-minute rather, you know, you can see we are a little bit of ways away from this trend line, which is where support, you know, where we can ride support here. So, you know, we do have room for a pullback there. So if we get the pullback there, therein would lie what you're waiting for on that Aussie dollar. But there's also a chance, especially because of how the market is interacting with these T3s. See all the price rejection there at these T3s? There's a good chance that this doesn't actually come back to the trend line. And, you know, even though it looks like it could, instead it just kind of fakes us out and goes for the next resistance level instead. Which is why I say there's a, you know, you do run the risk of missing the boat, so to speak. You know what I mean?
To be honest, I have 4-7's got to hold, then 14 with a market bottom at 104.80, to be honest. It's quite far. It's technically in a sell zone right now for me on the algo dollar yen. With the first buy zone coming in at the 35 level.
Hang on a minute. You see this? Sorry, let's shift over to dollar CAD for a second because I think it's setting up. You see this?
Oh, okay. You got bullish now.
Yeah. So that.
Does that deserve a trend line, mate?
Say again.
Can you draw a trend line in there? Can you?
You can. Yeah, you can come like so. That's your trend line right there. Like that. You can see how it's played off of these T3s. We got that cross, that combo, hammer / piercing line combo. Looks like it's attempting to take out that high. It hasn't quite done it yet, though. Tells me that the next candle is likely to do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to set this up, man. I like the look of this. This is a dollar CAD. So, new trade alert. I'm getting in. Well, putting a pending order, should I say. I'm looking to get in at 127.84 with a stop at 127.56 and a take profit at 128.26. But I'm going to look to actively trade manage this. So, you know, we may make it to the target, we may not. I'm not really concerned with that. It's more so, you know, setting the target, because that's where, you know, that's kind of the benchmark. But then I'm gonna actively trade manage this, especially because of how choppy dollar CAD has been lately. 127.56 for potential stop, 128.26 for my take profit. This is I'm getting in on strategy 1, which is a candlestick scalp, and strategy 5 really, which is the trading inside of the range, buying support back to resistance. Really just those two that I can really adjust. So it's technically a strategy 6 in there as well. In fact, no, there is a strategy 6 in there, because this engulfing bull right here would be the signal. There's the cross on the MACD. There's the cross out in the field. So yeah, it's actually a strategy 1, 5, and 6, probably in that order as well. So I'm looking.
I like it, mate.
Entry buy stop 127.84. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that in there.
I like it, mate.
Let's do it, man.
I'm in. I'm in, man.
That was fast. Cool. So I've gone ahead and set that up now. Right. So, okay, let's get a quick recap as we come up for the top of the 10 o'clock hour this morning. So I am active on $1 yen buying. So actually, I'll go through this one by one as we go. So actively buying $1 yen. My entry point was 105.49, and 105.50 is really my threshold level this morning. That's the one I'm really paying close attention to. If the market, as long as the market remains above 105.50, I feel good about this trade. Albeit, you know, even if it's a bit choppy on the way to the target, I still feel okay about this trade, because we're still technically in the buy zone then. The minute we come back and break below 105.50, though, there's no way I'm holding on to this. You know, if we come back below 105.50, no way.
Well, I've got some positive news, Matt.
Go on then.
On the system, the 1 hour's moved into the 105.47.
Okay. Good.
Okay, it's moving ahead of the 1 minute's. The L1's moving ahead of the L2, and the 5 minute L7's coming up to 48, which means long strength.
Okay. Oh, good. That is good news. That is good news. Fantastic. So there's potential still for a pullback there, but I'm looking 105.50 really between you and I and everyone watching. 4.7, because that's the level you're feeding me. So I'll trust it to 4.7. Beyond 4.7, I won't trust it at all. Full stop. But I think it looks good. From what you say, it sounds good too. Sounds like this has a shot at working. So I'm happy with that. So that's $1 yen. So again, my entry was 105.49. I'm looking to take it to 105.86, and my stop is at 105.24. Next up is dollar CAD, which I've got a pending order set. I've placed a pending order at 127.84, looking to take it to 128.26 and stop at 127.56. This is a combination strategy. First of all, candlestick formation. Second, we are playing the range, basically buying support back up to resistance, and then of course once we get to resistance, we look to sell resistance back to support. And then it's a strategy 6 as well, where we do have a cross. It did occur, technically that did occur in the buy zone, even though it's on the 0 line. It's, you know, biased to the buy zone there. And it's coupled with a large engulfing bull, which is a good solid candlestick formation. Here's the test of that engulfing bull. Test failed. Nice large price rejection to the downside there. Gave us you know, a nice close beyond the 50% mark here, which is all, these are all positive signs for strength here, dollar strength. And so what I'm basically doing is trading this combo. It's like a combo between a hammer and a piercing line, right? So 10 pips above, 10 pips below, and then 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio on that one. So that's pending. Next up is Aussie dollar. I am in on Aussie dollar. 7665 was my entry point. I've got to stop at 7685, so risking 20 pips there. And as you can see, all weekend, Friday, and then all night last night, all morning this morning, it's a bit of clenching going on in here, but it's coming back down now, so looking really nice. I'm quite happy with that. And then I've got a Kiwi dollar as well. I'm active on Kiwi dollar as well. Kiwi dollar is also stuck inside of a range, and so that's, of course, naturally part of the strategy deployment here as well, right? So, we have candlestick formation, so strategy 1. We have a strategy 6, where the signal's occurring in the correct zones in both cases, both in terms of price action and the MACD. This is looking good, and we're inside of the consolidation range. So that's a strategy 5. We're playing inside of the consolidation range, selling resistance, buying support, and so on. We're having a little bit of a pullback at the moment. No big deal at all. In fact, this looks really, really good. Nothing else to say. Do you have anything to say on Kiwi dollar, Rich? Anything you're looking at?
I don't really trade it.
You hate
I
Kiwi
refuse,
dollar,
mate.
don't you?
I refuse. I kind of refuse.
You have an irrational hate of Kiwi dollar, don't you?
Yeah, it's an incredibly emotional relationship.
Is it abusive, mate? Is Kiwi dollar abusive to you?
I should talk about it.
Do you want to talk about it? Should we talk about
it? I should talk about it.
Pound dollar. Okay, pound dollar's up next. I'm active on a pound dollar as well. This is finally, thankfully, starting to behave itself. Over the weekend, I was anticipating that this would come back inside of its range. We did get a push outside of the range that was largely driven by non-farm payroll, which of course came out Friday and was abysmal for the US dollar. Only 49,000 jobs added to the US economy in January, barely enough to fit certain stadiums, let alone to help the economy in any way. So really, really poor numbers there, which of course in the immediate aftermath of that release meant immediate dollar weakness. But the dollar weakness is artificial. It's it was a short-term thing, purely just reaction to how shockingly bad the number was. But things have already corrected, and I was banking on that on Friday coming into today, Monday. Was banking on dollar yen to start correcting and coming back, and that's exactly what it's doing. Thank God. So all's well that ends well, right?
I just took a look at the Kiwi dollar here.
Yeah.
If you want to jump over to it,
go for it.
Just want to see it in relation to your trade there. So I've got a high at 231.
Let me mark it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And 7173 for the low.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Well, 7173. Let me see. Yeah, so I'm looking. That's funny, man. So I've got 7170 as my level there, near your 73. We tend to be about between 3 and 5 pips of each other usually, from the sound of it. But I'm actually taking this down to 7155, banking on this just staying inside the range. Now, having said that, obviously I will trade manage around 71.70, so I'm going to put an alert on this actually. Crossing
Got
down.
major support down at 7080.
Say that again. 7180.
7080.
Oh, 7080. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what that's.
I'd set an alert, mate, for 7175 area. Just to, that's about halfway in your trade, just to have a look. Some support there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So I've got one at 7170. I'm going to put one at 7175 as well, just so it draws my attention.
Thing is if so, 7135 is my bottom. So you've got 40.
Yep.
Yeah, so 40. Yeah.
See,
from before.
We're usually about 3 and 5 pips between each other. But yeah, we're definitely in agreement there. For me, 40 is the bottom of the range. 71.40 is the bottom of the range there.
A possible rally up to 7315, mate, if this level holds. But if yeah, to enable a rally up to the 72s.
Oh, 72s.
And if it can break above that, then potentially the 73s. That's what, you know, it's overall bullish.
Oh, for sure, 7.2 needs to hold. For sure. For sure, 7.2 needs to hold. I've actually got it on the 2-hour here as well, 7.2.
It's such a nice day for news. We've got the Bank of England doing something at 3. The governor probably talks about nothing. ECB at 4:15. So if there's anyone trading at 3, 4 o'clock, US session maybe. Then there's some stuff about 3, 4 o'clock.
Dominic, good morning, Dominic. Thanks for joining us, mate. Dominic says Aussie dollar over Kiwi. You know, I haven't had a request for that one in a long time. Wow. Aussie New Zealand. Let's do it. Should we do it, mate? Do you want to do Aussie?
Check it out, man. Yeah, we'll do a full top down on it.
Let's do it. I need to get away from this dollar for a minute anyway. It's doing my head in. So why not? Oh shoot, I want to do it on the dollar. I mean on the Aussie.
I don't think I've even ever looked at that, to be honest.
What? Never?
Yeah.
Really?
Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so the very first thing, we're on this 15-minute time frame, so I'll start with the top down here, just to kind of give you the most relevant stuff. I also want to kind of keep it relatively short because I'm watching the dollar at the moment as well. Getting a pretty nasty pullback.
Mate, sorry.
Should be okay though.
Do you want to jump over to Euro Aussie quickly?
Yeah.
We've got a 15-minute reversal long.
Reversal long?
Euro Aussie, yeah, reversal long.
Oh, I disagree. In fact, hang on a minute. Euro Aussie, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, well, look, okay, so two things here. So first of all, 5,700 is the level for me, mate, on Euro Aussie. If 5,700 holds, which so far it is, although we are in the realm, but if 5,700 holds, then you know this is just going to continue sideways for a bit. I think ultimately it is going to make an attempt to break above, because if you look at the stochastic RSI and the MACD, and the fact that we've broken beyond the trend line, we've now come back for the test, and support, at least so far, support is holding here, right? So there's that, but 5,700 is a pretty good level of resistance here. Let me just move this down, 5,700. And you can see, look at this 15-minute time frame. Look at what's actually been left behind, or being left behind. We've got 15 seconds to go.
I actually sold Euro Aussie at 5,700. I sold it at 5,700 for 10.
And what did you do?
And I closed it.
Why would you do that?
Because we was analysing it, and I didn't like the angle.
Hey.
And I closed it. And then it's gone and won.
That's going to sell. That's going to continue selling. So that's a beautiful evening star. I might actually sell this. This is a beautiful evening star. 15 pips above the high.
Man, I hate everything.
57, 18. 10 pips below.
Well, I tell a lot. Well, there's something else I should add to that. And that is, yes, it was a new low in the short-term trend. Yes, it did come to my 1 hour level. Yes, it did have 10 back, and that is a sell. However, my L2 should be within 10 pips of the L1, and it wasn't. It's miles away. So it's technically not my strategy, do you know? There's one key bit of detail, and then because you was looking at it like, yeah, you know, probably gonna go long, I was like, forget it then.
Don't blame
but
me.
It did. It did. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying. But it's the risk in it, you know. It's at the end of the day, I stuck to my rules. I stuck to my rules, and I lost money. Like
that'll happen sometimes.
That's good.
Listen, that'll happen sometimes, though. You know, it's just
that's what we want, man.
You know what I mean? It's just part of it. But it's important that you keep the rules, though, no matter what. I quite like Euro Aussie, the look of Euro Aussie for a sell here, mate.
The look of Euro Aussie for a sell. Well,
yep.
Let's rewind the show. We'll go back to the open. We'll start on time.
Also got a nice little crown there on the 15. See, the only thing is we have two trend lines here, right? So you have this one counter trend line right here, which has been broken, but then it's right behind it is this secondary trend line here as well. And that tracks, you can see that tracks with these 2 3Ts. So you got the 2 3Ts and this third 3T all to break through. You see that? That's why I didn't really like this before, to be honest. Okay, now that we have the close of the 2 hour, we did close below 5,700, but there's a good chance this makes this pops.
Well, I do have a 15-minute reversal long. The system will take this trade in 4 pips time if it continues to drop another 4 pips, and it will be getting in.
What, at 56.90?
Well, 89.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think it's got potential to set up for a sell. I think it's got potential to carry on selling. We're just not quite there just yet, I don't think. I think that's what we're looking at here. Right, let me go back to Aussie Kiwi. Let's have a look there. So Dominic, hopefully you're still with us, so we can have a look now. Aussie Kiwi. Let me just go back to my Aussie card here. There we go. Okay, so the very first thing I want to do, Dominic, is I want to spread my trend line. So I've compressed my chart. I can see, I get an overall sense of the trend, which of course, you know, overall, this looks, you know, like a downtrend to me overall. Now, obviously, we're going to drill down and get a little bit deeper into the analysis here, but, you know, that's just sort of first impression, right? I want to draw my trend lines in, starting from the highest high. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I like to keep everything color coordinated. It just helps to keep me organized and helps me to disseminate information quickly, right? So I know what I'm looking at based on color, as well as other things. Okay, so that initial trend line there is correct. So it's broken, and then I can see I've got a bit of a short-term uptrend in here as well. So I want to mark this off as well. So and I'm using trend lines to do this too, right? So here's trend line 1 and trend line 2. Like so. Okay, and I can even go, there's even a trend line 3 to be had in here. An innermost is called an innermost trend line. Because of all these lows that come before that highest high of the move there. Okay, cool. So we've got the trend lines in place. Next thing I want to do is going to come in with my fib. So starting from that high there, because that's the overall that's the predominant trend, right? Even though most recently we do have a little bit of this uptrend going on, overall this has been largely how this has moved. So I'm going to measure this first. Okay, and purpose of doing that is to make sure, or to see if we're still in the downtrend or if we've changed trend completely. All right, so I go ahead and spread my fib retracement tool. I get an 86% retracement, which means I'm looking for an official low to form around about 10783, and I get that. You can see 10782 is where it actually happens. Okay, then I get this is what's called the super shallow one toe in the water. It's less than a 23.6% retracement. Then leaves the boundary aggressively, doesn't ever look back, doesn't ever come back into that AB boundary, and instead just goes straight to its 2.618 target, which is just here. Okay, so, and it does give me the official low I'm looking for, just beyond 2 pips beyond the target. The target was 10689, and this came down to 10687, gave me the low. Okay, then the market came back again for a super shallow one toe in the water. Okay, and so now the target is, of course, to the downside at this 2.618 at 10520. Now, when we see something like this, right, ultimately, there's two things to consider here. First of all, there's an unfulfilled 38.2% to the upside, sitting at 10726. Okay, now, whenever the market breaks back below or above the B, in this case it would be above because we're in a downtrend, so the B low in this case is 10687. If the market breaks back above that, the chances that we're heading back to that unfulfilled, in search of that unfulfilled 38.2%, are just astronomical, right? They just go shoot through the roof. But as long as we're below the B, again at 10687, then actually, there's a good likelihood that the market's just going to continue, right? Instead, and make its way toward its 2.618 instead of coming back for a deeper C and then finding a 1.618 or better. So, two things I want to mark off here: the B low, which is 106.874 to be exact. Okay, 106.874. And I'm going to go ahead and label this as well so I know what it is I'm looking at. It's a 15-minute B low. And I'm going to change the color as well so I know what I'm looking at. I know that purple is the maximum 23.6, and I know that the second purple here is the anticipated 2.618. Okay, and so the story here, right, is that I'm bearish on this. Aussie Kiwi, I'm bearish on this. Ultimately, I'm bearish on this down to 10520. And until and unless the market gives me reason to change that target, i.e. it comes back for a deeper pullback inside of this Fibonacci boundary, I'm still going to maintain the target at 10520, right? Now, that that's the overall target, but obviously that doesn't mean that I'm just going to take a trade now and look to take it down to 105.20. There's strategies now that then get deployed. So the overall direction is set now, and then I would turn to my repertoire of strategies, as it were, to decide which one best suits the moment, and then continue to do that, knowing that the bias is overall to the downside at 105.20. At the moment, we actually do have a sell signal here, so I'm going to see if I can get a nice little opportunity in here. Just see what that looks like. So as far as price action goes, you've got beautiful dark cloud cover right there, engulfing bear. You've got
bit late to the party, maybe.
Huh?
I think you're a bit late to the party. Or you just getting in now, really? That break there of what, 6,520?
Well, so
for a stop.
This low here is what I'm gonna go off of. So 106.58, 106.48 would be my entry, and then 15 pips above the high. So if the high is here at 6.2, oops, 6.2. It's gonna put me at 7.7, isn't it? 106.77.
I read that wrong. I meant 0.650. So you'd still go for 40, yeah, 48.
Well, no. I'm just measuring this out at the moment because I just want to see. So here's the thing: as long as we're still below that B low, again, there's a good chance that the market makes its way down to that 2.618. So I wouldn't mind taking a sell here. Obviously, knowing that there's good support in the way there too, but knowing that we'd be in line with the trend, right? We'd have to break above 106.87 in order for me to start changing my outlook here to that, we're going back to that 38.2. The fact that we've broken this innermost trend line, I mean, we have this secondary trend line to contend with here, but if we can manage to break through that, it's pretty much smooth sailing after that, mate. Let me see what the subs are doing as well. See what the sub fibs. So those are my capital fibs. Now I'm going to come in with some sub fibs. Okay, so first impulse. This is the first impulse right here. High to low. Market gives me a 78.6 retracement, so I should anticipate an official low to form at 106.70, and that's exactly what I get. It's actually better. So I spread my new fib. The C becomes the A, the D becomes the new B, like so. I then get a 23.6% market attempts to come in for a double dipper, but actually doesn't. It remains a super shallow, and then goes right to its 2.618. So this is the new sub A to sub B. And then here we are. So you can see, even with the subs, right? Even with the subs, we're still in a downtrend. And if you look at how the subs have performed, how they've behaved over the last couple of subs, what do we get? We get a pretty sizable pullback before we get a continuation to the D extension, right? So in this case, what's happened? We have a pretty sizable pullback. In this case, all the way to the 86%.
86.
And we're showing signs of a U-turn right in here. See how the bulls are like stalling? It's like they hit a wall, right?
Yeah.
Bounced off. They've come back. They've tried to break it again, but they're bouncing again in the opposite direction.
What's the distance to the furthest trend line there? Short.
I'll tell you now. From current market.
So 6. About 50 pips or something.
Yeah, about 50 pips.
It's a fair trade. What, 20 pip stop loss, 25 pip stop loss for a 50 pip?
Yeah.
And I've not looked at any sort of resistance and support levels yet, but
It's not a bad looking thing.
It's not bad.
Not a bad looking thing. Not at all.
Let me. I'm just trying to load this up so I can have a look.
Now, one thing I'm gonna come in with some subs here, so we're gonna get real granular. Let's see what's
Sub to the sub.
Sub to the sub, and we're gonna do sub.
We all live in a yellow sub.
Come on.
Did you hear that noise there?
No, what was that?
You know that Windows, you can't do this noise. That one that everybody hates.
Computer says no.
Yeah.
Look at this. So with the subs, okay, there's an unfulfilled 38.2 to the downside, and the 2.618 is just way too far away. There's just no precedent. There's no.
Where we're looking at that.
So here's the sub 2.618, 107.16, all the way up here. Here we are, current market.
Okay, yeah.
Here we are. Actually, no, this 105.49 is the target. 491. And that's the.
There we go. Yeah, that's better.
This is the anticipated. So it's a 15-minute anticipated 118 extension.
Sub.
This one's the sub. These guys going up are subs. So yeah, I like it for a sell. Obviously, I've only looked at the 15-minute time frame. I can go up to the 2 hour. Just have a look there. But it's certainly not looking terrible for a sell. And this is a blackjack setup because of the 86% right here at 6.7. Let me go to the 2 hour quick. Oh, there goes your Aussie buying.
It is going. I literally just about to say that. It's just gone for 10 there.
There goes your Aussie buying.
The reversal long from the 90 is going long. Should tell you why it's going long, and this is good news for you. Because Aussie dollar.
Weakness. Yep.
Yes,
indeed.
Losing strength, man.
Yes, indeed.
And it's at a particular level right now that we need to see a pop. And then it's going to deal with the 51.
If we get a pop here, that's actually that's a sweet trade setting up, actually. If we can get a pop above 57, which we're just now getting, 57.01. Look at the stochastic on the 2 hour. Okay, we've left the buy zone already, but not by much. Look at the MACD though. Look at that sucker. Oh, that's beautiful. And you know what? That supports the analysis we just did on Aussie Kiwi too. For the sell on Aussie Kiwi. Right. We've got the game plan, man. We've got it. We're gonna buy
what was that,
Aussie.
Dance?
We're gonna sell Aussie Kiwi.
What was that,
Thanks, Dominic. You forced us to look at a pair we don't usually look at. And we've just found like 7 trades because of you, mate. Thank you.
What was the conclusion on
sell baby sell on Aussie Kiwi?
On the key, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this as well. Oh yeah.
Are you getting in? Are you getting in?
I might. I just might.
Down
That's
to
sell baby sell.
Oh yeah, I was meant to look.
Sell baby sell.
I was meant to look when I. Sorry, I got distracted. Let me have a look at what the old matrix system's saying.
That move that we see on the 15, that's this right here. It's the same thing, so I don't even need to do it again because the 15 and the 2 hour look almost identical. So it's actually moving very, very nicely. Very clean moves. I like it a lot. I'm going to put it in this.
Aussie dollar New Zealand. Let's have a little look see. at the Aussie dollar New Zealand.
Yeah, man, this looks good. This looks real good. So Euro Aussie looks good for the buy. Aussie Kiwi looks good for a sell. Let me see where that would end up. Did I put entries on this already? I did.
Oh,
48. Yeah, 106.48.
Okay.
106.77 and 106.48 is 29. So going for 43 at a minimum. 106.48. So
are you taking this for a sell? Yeah.
I'm gonna look. Yeah. So 106. This puts me down to 106.04 for 106.05 for a target.
That makes sense.
Doesn't it?
Shall I tell you something else quite interesting about this?
Go on.
Hang on, I need to measure something here.
I like this very much, actually. I'm going to take it. 106.77. And
should we just start doing all the currencies?
I said this.
I know.
29.
No.
03.
I can't find Aussie dollar New Zealand on. Broker. Doesn't exist, man. Oh, here we go.
Aussie dollar.
So 0.650 to 0.665. Okay, so it's just come up, right? It's just come up for a 60-minute L7 bounce for a short.
What are we looking at? Aussie Kiwi.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me get back there. Go on. Aussie Kiwi. Yeah.
So it's just come up for a 0.650.
Yeah.
Bounce for a short. And it's travelled 15 pips beyond that, but it's now coming back in to then continue its short move off the bounce of that level, which further confirms your analysis in terms of a resistance level.
Yeah.
However, okay.
$57.07. So I'm just having a quick look at Euro Aussie again because that's looking really nice for a buy. 57.07 would be my entry based off of the piercing line that I'm looking at. 56.79 for a potential stop again off of the piercing line that I'm looking at. So I'm going to go for 42, which puts me at 57.49. Ooh, puts me right back to the 50 mark, mate. I'm happy with that. I think it'll go for that. I think it'll go.
Well,
for that.
the algorithm's been in it since 5690, mate.
There you go. And going long to when? Does it say, or just?
It normally does. It normally takes 20 for 20.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there it is on the 15, but on the 2 hour, look at the friggin' 2 hour, man. That's what's really intriguing me.
Oh,
Look at how it came back to test.
You got both indicators there as well.
Hey?
You got both indicators there as well.
100%.
I don't know about 100%. That Aussie dollar New Zealand.
I've not taken it yet.
On the hour on the Aussie dollar New Zealand, let me send you a picture. On your WhatsApp.
Okay.
It's beautiful. beautiful long trend as far as the matrix goes, and now it's came in and over that 0.651. That 0.651 is either going to hold as very good resistance, or it's going to help it progress further along.
So I'm trying to get the
as new support.
picture you sent. Oh, there we go. Okay, I've got it.
So it's bounced every time off that 1 hour. It's
Yeah.
lovely, man.
Yeah. Sure has.
It's just something for consideration. So, Dominic, what's the conclusion for Dominic? For you, Chris?
I'm still bearish. I'm still bearish, mate. Definitely. From what we can see there, it looks like a sell is coming into play. And look at that Euro Aussie, man.
I've just got in a trade.
I need to go. Hang on, wait.
I've just got in 2 trades. Okay, we've got.
There we go.
Okay, pound dollar. Am I in a trade? No. Aussie dollar. Dollar CAD. Dollar CAD, right. Dollar CAD's in. Dollar CAD's just entered, mate. Aussie dollar's doing well. It's up 9 pips.
5, 6, 7, 9.
Pound dollar's creeping. Pound dollar's creeping for an L7. I'm gonna take it at the 80. I'm gonna take this at the 80, man.
Okay, mate. So I'm now in on Euro Aussie as well. I'm not in on dollar CAD yet. It's not taking me in on dollar CAD just yet.
There's a breakout trade to the short on a 5-minute trend. It's broken out on pound dollar from the 98 level, from the 98. Yeah. So the system called that 3700 as a breakout level on the pound dollar to the short, and it's in on a trade. Yeah,
it looks good. Looks good. I'm up about 20 pips on pound dollar at the moment. Alright, let me mark this off. So my actual entry on Euro Aussie, I missed it by 2 pips. But my entry was 57.09. $57.091 to be exact. I've got my take profit is set at 57.49, and my stop is set at 56.79.
Oh my god, that Euro Aussie was beautiful.
Yeah,
look at that, man. It's up 20. It did it as well.
It's good, yeah.
That was a computer.
Euro Aussie looks really good. I think that's definitely related to the Aussie weakness we've been looking at.
Yeah. Crazy. That was a computer, mate. Crazy.
See, Aussie Kiwi I quite like too, but
okay, what was this? Euro Aussie has just entered. Euro Aussie's in a sell zone now. Okay.
Euro Aussie's in a sell zone.
Alright. So we may see some turbulence here now, mate.
Yeah, it's possible. So there's Aussie, there's Kiwi, looking good. There's pound looking good. There's $0 looking okay. There's dollar yen, baby. Woo! Look at that. That looks nice. 65. I'm happy with that. Come on. Let's go for 75 now. It's going to go for 75. Needs to go for 75 next. Dollar CAD. CAD. I'm not in yet on dollar CAD. I'm 4 pips off entry. Dollar CAD. Not quite there, but we're getting there. You know why you're on a sell zone, mate? Because we're taking out resistance on the Euro Aussie. That's why. Look, it's a resistance level. Right there.
Yeah.
R1. Oops. R2. R3.
Normally, these reversals don't last very long, and 5726 is the highest I see it traveling on the Euro Aussie. What have you got?
So my target's at 5749, but I've got resistance at 12, which is where we are currently, then 22, then 29, then smooth sailing to at least 60.
Yeah, I'd set an alert about that 2-2 level, mate, and just have a look at the old Langle, mate, about that time.
Hang on a sec.
Aussie dollar is doing well, top 10, but it's at resistance in literally 2 pips. Strong resistance, L7 in the 1 hour, but it's also in a white zone, which is neutral, middle volume. So it's come back. The tide's gone out. It's now come back to center of the range almost.
I have confidence in Aussie dollar. I don't see any issue. In fact, I see the only real bit of turbulence that I can anticipate here would be around in another 10 pips time. Beyond that, I think it's smooth sailing, like down to Whew, it's got some room.
Well, the next level after that is 32.
Yep, I got 30. 7630 is what I'm looking at as the next level, and and my target's at 35. So yeah, I don't see any issue with this trade at all, mate. I think it'll go right to it.
Neither do I, man.
Same with Kiwi dollar. Look at that beautiful thing.
Oh, so we'll be able to buy that yacht after all. Okay, so pound is at a good level now. For a buy, I've actually got a long buy at 3680.
Pound dollar.
Pound dollar, yeah. This qualifies as a bounce trade to take it back up short.
Don't cuss at me. Why are you cussing at me?
It's only a little one, mate.
Don't cuss at me. Don't even.
But it is a strong level though. It is a strong level.
Why would you say that? Look. See. Why would you do that to me?
It's at the real level's 86, but there's a 15-minute L7 at 80, and then we've got a Bandshade level 3 at 73, which the market cap for the bottom is 75. So there's a lot for it to get through just now, to be honest. But there's been this huge range for the pound dollar between the sort of this 360 and 3660 and 3700 level for some time. You know.
Yeah.
Do you remember I was in a long from 360 about 2 weeks ago for like 100 plus pip move, and it didn't do it.
No, it didn't, did it? Aussie. There we go, pound dollar. Yeah, so on the 2-hour time frame, I see smooth sailing on this to 71. Then we've got 51, and then after that, it's just, there's no floor underneath that until you get down to the bottom of the range. So let me see, 30 and 36.42. I'm looking to take it to 36.42. So I've got two areas to be concerned with in my mind here: 71 ish and 50. Those two levels. If they break through those two levels, I have zero worries about it going all the way to my target. Zero. If that's the case, because it's clear, mate. I mean, pound dollar has just been stuck inside this range. It created this range as soon as we broke 3,700, 36.99, which I had been targeting for a while. As soon as we finally did that, forget it. I mean, pound dollars really struggled to get past it. You know what I mean? I mean, I know it went up. What was it? 37.50 something at one point as the highest point. 44. Hold on. 58. Yeah, 37.58. So it went to 58 pips beyond 3,700, and then just there's no way. It had zero chance of breaking beyond that point, and in fact, it's come back below 3,700 now, and will likely stay there for a little while. So it looks like we're on strat 5 for a bit, mate. As far as pound dollar is concerned.
What have you got at the 2012 level on euro dollar?
On euro dollar, let's have a look.
Sorry, yeah, euro dollar. 2012 level.
There is a level of support there, but past support. To be honest, there was such a huge rally there. It didn't leave behind any lows aside from the one that we've just taken out. So, I mean, look at this on the 2-hour, mate. This looks like smooth sailing to me. That just looks like smooth sailing, because just as this was smooth sailing up, right? Obviously now it's got to correct. This was a result of non-farm. This in here is just a result of non-farm. So now it looks like the market. It looks like non-farm happened, and the market's like, yeah, okay, great, thanks for that. And now it's getting back to its normal technical levels of movement. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think it's 27. I mean, 2012 rather. Excuse me, 2012.
What I think may happen,
yeah,
and this is common on the matrix system, is we've got the 1 hour L1 and we've got the 1 hour L2, right? So we've got the L1 at the top and the L2 at the bottom. It's traveling from the L1 to the L2. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down, and this is called a 60 by 60. It'll bounce off the L2 1 hour for as long as the 1, the 5, and the 15 are all contained within the same space, within the L1 and the L2 in the 60-minute time frame. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to the 2012, pulls back to around sort of 2035-ish, and then continues again. So it'll breathe, impulse, breathe, and then go, I wouldn't be surprised if it does that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can certainly see that. Let's have a look.
So I guess, what does that mean? That means if it's retracing from 2012 towards a stop loss, well, just to allow it to breathe and wait to see what it does.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see. I mean, you can see I've actually got 2023 marked off as a pretty decent level, and you can see the market stalling there. If it then falls another 20 pips or so, or sorry, 10 pips or so. See, the thing is, mate, it's pretty smooth sailing. I mean, we've got, even on this 15-minute, right, we've got 2018, and then beyond that, there's nothing until 1980. Like, nothing at all. But at the 2012 region, yeah, I could certainly see a bounce there. But overall, I am bearish on this, mate. Definitely. And in terms of the 2 hour, what really makes me bearish on this more than anything is the fact that on this 2 hour time frame, we're in an up baby boundary, but we've got an unfulfilled 38.2% to the downside at 1755. And given the fact that we're below that B high, which is at 2118, as long as we're below the B high, I should be targeting that unfulfilled 38.2. Not only that, but we broke this innermost trend line. And as I teach you inside of the Ultimate Forex Trading course, anytime we break the 1, right, we should be making our way to the next available, which is actually all the way down here. So, there's plenty of room for this to come to fruition, this unfulfilled 38.2. Market broke, tested, failed, and then it came back for another test as a result of non-farm. But you can see all that did was really just bring us to the backside of the trendline resistance, and where resistance is now holding, you see. So I'm still very, very, very bearish on this, man. I've got all the reason in the world to be bearish on this right now. All about the bears, man. But I agree, at 2012 we could see a pullback and then a continuation, certainly. Because you've got a good level. If you look at the little cluster in here, see that?
Yeah.
So you've got a nice little cluster there. There's plenty of potential there for stalling and pulling back, etc., etc. Hang on a minute. Let me see something. The high here was 2048, which is a 78.6, which means that I should anticipate that the market will move down to 2023, because that's where the 127 target is. You see that? So we had a 78.6. That means I'm targeting 2023, which is this 1.27 Fibonacci de-extension level. And so let's see. This came down to 2023 and is giving us the official low at 2023, bang on. So what that's done is, obviously that's completing. It's not done it yet because we need to wait for the close of this candle, obviously. But what it's doing is it's completing this Fibonacci wave cycle. So right here, I should anticipate a pullback. This could come back to 2033. This could even come back to 2036. So I'm going to split the difference and say, okay, 2035 is my threshold level. If we break beyond 2035, I'm probably in trouble. Though there is scope for that too, because of the fact that we're pulling so far away from this T3 here, the main T3, right? But right now, the target is 1982 because of, obviously, the fact that we have a super shallow. But obviously, if this does pull back and give me a 38.2, then my target comes down to 12007, which is 5 pips beyond where your threshold is, mate, at 2012, isn't it? So where you're saying 2012 as a pullback zone, I'm saying between 2012 and say 2005 roughly. So I'd give you like a 7 pip range there and say in that zone, that's where I would look for the official low to form, and then the pullback, and then the continuation.
So it all makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. It all lines up. Your stuff is lining up very nicely with my stuff.
Adjust your red lines there to illustrate on the chart what that looks like. And then tomorrow we can take a look back to see what it really does.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if it does it like absolutely perfectly, then you owe me a beer.
How did that work out?
It's my idea. Snooze you lose, mate.
I like how Rich does things, guys.
Snooze you lose.
So if your trading methodology is accurate, then you owe me a beer. How did that work? There we go. So that's basically, oops. So we're looking bounce here. We can even bounce to the 382 or 50 in this zone.
Yeah, that's the one.
Then we're looking
for the 2012
for around here in this region in here. And then we're looking for another rally. Probably to come back.
Yeah, 2-3, mate.
So, and then a continuation. So this is what we're basically looking at here.
That's nice, Matt.
If
that makes sense.
Hey, Jermaine. Good morning. Jermaine says, "What's up? I'm new here." Jermaine, so are we, mate.
Hi, Jermaine.
Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Forex Trading Lounge. How you doing, Jermaine?
Where are they coming through, mate? What are you looking at?
On YouTube. Coming through on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Is it the chat? Down the side?
Yeah.
Where are you from, Jermaine?
Oh, Jermaine says, "I'm loving it and I'm great." Oh, fantastic, Jermaine. Glad to hear that. Yeah, where are you from?
Where are you from? Where'd you hail from? I told you, man. 10-minute analyst struck it again, mate. Pull back for 10 from the 86 on the pound dollar. It's good because we can recognize where the areas of strength and support and resistance are. Support and resistance levels are.
Yeah,
and it allows us to manage our trade.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's actually going for another green candle on the 15 minutes. Just opened up green. You know, some people might be like, "Oh, do you know what? Do I close my trade here?" Potentially. But if you've got an awareness of what level of strength it could be. Oh, okay. Did you hear that?
I did.
It's a cool noise. How cool is that noise, by the way? It's quite a cool noise. I like it.
What was that?
That is a 15-minute reversal short on euro dollar.
Ah, so we're getting a short again.
Yep. 15-minute reversal short on the euro dollar, which is healthy because that coincides with what we were just talking about.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, there's the pop. There's the pop. We were just saying this can come back to a 382. So we actually want this to do this, folks. We want this to happen because what it does when this happens is it adjusts where my target level should be, right? Because currently, you know, until we come up and hit 2033, which we're probably going to hit it. So until we hit 2033, though, as long as we're still down here, the target on this is all the way down here at 1982.
What was your entry, mate? Sorry.
2032. 2032 on euro dollar.
Okay.
So, you know, the fact that this has come up to that 38.2, that's what we want because it gives us, you know, my new target is now 2007, which is just 5 pip beyond Rich's target at 2012. It's with that confluence there. Jermaine says from the USA. Jermaine, I don't know if you can tell by now.
Really?
But me too, man. Where from? Where from, Jermaine? I'm from New York myself.
I hate people from the USA.
Oh, whoa.
I don't really. I think they're all awesome, man.
Are you from Michigan? Nice. Very nice. Got lots of friends from Michigan. Are you, Jermaine, are you covered in snow right now? Did you guys get hit? You know, there's a huge storm that's going through, isn't there? Why am I? Look at this.
US friends.
I know. I made a new best friend, mate. Rich, I'm gonna have to replace you.
Got a new friend. Good. Well, make sure it's good. US friends.
Well, it's all ice now. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? All right, I have to reload my page because something's happened. It's not wanting to do anything for me.
Do you prefer America to England?
Who, me?
Chris.
Do I prefer America to England? In what way?
Or the UK? England, America to the UK.
Yeah, in what way?
Living here.
Living here. No, I do prefer the US.
Really? Why?
It's bigger.
Anything to... It's bigger, less rules.
More open space. It's
the people are better. There's more money.
It's what you call freedom.
More money, people are better, they're all better looking, better personalities.
We're a lot cheerier. No.
Must be something to do with the weather.
No, I'll tell you what, I do love living here. Saying that, I do love living here. I love the UK. The weather could be better. That's for damn sure. The weather could be better.
We're actually really fortunate, to be honest.
It's not a bad place to live. It's not a bad place to live. And there's, I can't complain. I've got, I've started a family here, started a business here. So it's good. I like it here. I do miss home though. I do miss the US, but because of COVID, I haven't been able to go back in over a year at this point. Last Halloween was the last time I was there, so that's a problem.
Really?
Yep. It's actually the longest amount of time I've ever spent outside of the US.
Oh, do you feel a bit homesick?
Terribly.
Do you actually?
Yeah, terribly.
Oh, bless you.
Do a trip soon, mate. Gonna have to do this show from Florida soon. And my background will be palm trees and a pool when we do this.
Oh. Mine will still be like this.
No, we've got to get you, like, we got to do like a little painting of a palm tree or something.
I am the yang to your yin. You are the yin to my yang. Chaos and order, mate.
That's it.
It's symbolic of a neutral emotion required for trading. Which is why I'm going to put on the next best trade I see right now. So euro dollar, mate, you're sticking to your guns on the old selling then, because we should start wrapping up about in the next 2 minutes. Take any questions from anyone.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Have we got any people watching?
What time it is? Yeah, we've got a few people watching.
We've got Jermaine, Dominic's been on.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, folks. So if you have any questions, Jermaine, if you have any currency pairs you want us to take a look at in particular, now would be the time, because you heard Rich. We're going to be wrapping up. So I didn't even realize we're almost at 11 already, mate. Jeez.
Euro Aussie.
So let me give a quick recap then, while we're coming to the end here. So I'll give a quick recap of where I am across the board. In answer to your question, mate, yes, with regard to euro dollar, and selling. I am sticking to my guns. Reason being, couple reasons. Some of them I've already mentioned, but I'll go over it again. First of all, we have an unfulfilled 38.2% to the downside on the 2 hour, and we're below the B high. So of course, as long as we're below the B high, then the market is likely chasing that 382. We broke this inner trend line here, right? We broke this. Well, it's actually a secondary trend line. This was the innermost trend line. And I teach you inside of our Ultimate Forex Trading course that anytime the market breaks one trend line, it tends to make its way to the next available. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what the euro dollar did, except when it got to the next available trend line, it then broke that one too, turning support into resistance. And so as soon as that happened, my outlook immediately shifted to, okay, we're probably going to chase after that 38.2. Like, I'm pretty convinced of it, right? We got the huge pullback we did at the end of last week, Friday, of course. Obviously, that is a result of non-farm payroll and the abysmal jobs number that came out on Friday. So we saw a temporary huge rally like this. But obviously, that is just a temporary thing. Technicals are now coming back into play, taking over again. Resistance is holding. And what it's done is it's left behind two things. First of all, it's left behind a dark cloud cover right here. Okay, that's a bearish indicator, beautiful bearish indicator. And it tested that. You can see we went a little sideways. But then the market fell again. And what it did was it left behind an engulfing bear this time. And so now all this is that we're seeing here is a test of that engulfing bear. We have not come and closed beyond the 50% mark, although I'm aware we still have an hour to go. So we'll see what happens there. But so far, we haven't come and closed beyond the 50% mark. The stochastic is still very much in the sell zone and U-turning, leaving. The MACD, the bulls are certainly running out of steam here. I'm very comfortable still with this, even though it's pulling back on me at the moment. And I'm at the break-even point. Like literally, I'm down 0.8 pips right now, but I'm still pretty comfortable with this trade. Next up is dollar yen. I'm in a dollar yen buying. I got in at 105.49. You can see, we've had a nice little push here. We are getting a bit of a pullback now. That's normal because we've had such a push. If I look on the 15-minute time frame, you can see these levels that we're tracking. 105.61 being a key. You could round down as well, so call it 105.60. Same difference, 1 pip. That region, right? We saw it broken, tested, and it's holding. So that's a good sign for a continued rally on dollar yen. With the next region being 75, 76 zone, and then my target ultimately at 86. Here again, I've got confidence in this. I don't see any reason at this stage to doubt this. Again, that could change. I'm not saying, there's no guarantees in anything, right? But for now, it looks pretty good, right? Then I've got a dollar CAD. I've got a pending order on dollar CAD, so I'm not in this just yet, but I've got a pending order sitting at 27.84. Here, just like what we saw, or what we're seeing on pound dollar, we are very, very range bound, and so I'm looking to just play this back to resistance, a little bit beyond resistance, but I am going to actively trade manage this. So once we get into the region of resistance, I won't hesitate to get out if I feel just getting out and taking whatever profits there at that stage, right? This is not a trade I would ride all the way to the target because I'm not as confident in this one. Aussie dollar, also looking really nice. Got a beautiful sell there at 76.65, risking 20 pips. So my stop is at 76.85, and I'm looking to take this down to 76.35. The next level, we're pulling back now, and that's fine. The next level beyond that is 76.43 that I'm watching. And if I go to the 2 hour, okay, you can see MACD is giving off a beautiful signal now. The stochastic isn't fantastic on the 2 hour. However, the combination of the MACD on the 2 hour and what we're seeing on the ground on the 15 does give me some level of confidence in this trade. And just to show you, though, we do have some support to contend with along the way. So I'm not anticipating a smooth ride on this. In fact, as your captain, I'm going to tell you to keep your seatbelt. I'm going to keep the seatbelt sign on throughout the duration of the flight. But I do think we'll get there. It'll just be a little bit bumpy. Oh, hang on, that's Aussie Kiwi. Wait a minute. So the same applies for Aussie Kiwi. Aussie Kiwi looks good too. But let me just make sure I'm looking at Aussie. There's Aussie dollar. So actually, the picture is actually better, thankfully, on Aussie dollar than it is on Aussie Kiwi. Stochastic is actually in the sell zone, and we're getting the signal on the MACD. So actually,
lovely.
My confidence level in this trade just increased drastically, especially once I switch back to the correct currency pair. That helps with the confidence. Kiwi dollar I've got to sell as well, and that was 71.90 was my entry point there. This looks good to me too, mate. I don't see anything wrong with this trade. 7,200 has held pretty strongly. I mean, we did come back up in the region of resistance. We didn't quite make it there, but it's enough to have held. It pushed it right the way back down to support, where we got an engulfing bull. That's a surefire sign right there that it's going to rally. Sure, it did. But you can see it rallied to just beyond 7,200, and then we've pretty quickly come back below 7,200, and I think we'll stay below it. 7,200 is a pretty strong level.
Some
for
good
this at the moment.
indication in the MACD and the stock as well.
Definitely, yeah. Just like what we saw in Aussie dollar.
I think the small pullback on the pound dollar is probably about done. I think we should see it continue short now.
Yeah. So I'm purposely showing you all of my trades, folks, are on the 15-minute time frame, but I'm actually purposely showing you the 2-hour time frame here because I want you to kind of get above the noise to see what we're looking at. What Rich is referring to, this is the pound dollar. So on the 2-hour, the reason we would be getting a pullback on the smaller time frames is because look, mate, we came right down to the last. This is sort of like the last line of defense for the T3 support, right? You see that?
Yeah.
This is sort of the last line of defense. We've breached line 1, line 2, line 3, and we're now at line 4. So it's natural to get a pullback there. I reckon we're likely to breach that too, and get even through the main T3 because this
watch this 15-minute
consolidation range takes precedent. Say again.
You might want the 15-minute.
15. Let's have a look.
On the pound dollar.
What did I say? See? That's beautiful.
If we get a pop there now, to be fair though, I'm only expecting a 10-pip drop
from here. Yeah, because 36.80 is another level of support to watch out for. So I'd anticipate another pullback 36.80. But I'm confident in this trade, man. I see nothing wrong with pound dollar looks good. Euro dollar looks very good. Look at that. It came to the 382. Yeah, man, that's looking very good. So I'm now anticipating a move down to 2007 next.
Oh, Euro dollar.
It's looking beautiful.
Lovely.
Dollar yen staying above 105.60. I'm happy with that. That's good. So yeah, man, I'm pretty set here. I'm happy. I'm poised for dollar strength. I've been poised for dollar strength since Friday, and my mind has not changed this morning. We're still looking at dollar strength, man. It's dollar strength kind of a day.
It's a dollar strength. It is. It is. We've got clear roads. Dollar yen's in a lovely upward trend now.
Yeah.
It's definitely formed the pattern that we need. Euro it's got a reversal long. We've got euro dollar with a reversal short though. So with dollar possessing strength here, right? We've got a Aussie dollar sell. So if the dollar's got strength, then the Aussie dollar is going to have weakness.
Yep.
So we have correlation there. If the Aussie dollars drop in with dollar strength, euro should see some weakness. But obviously with Aussie dollar drop in, we should get euro Aussie strength. So that's important to note. Dollar yen and the £2, pound dollar, pound yen, it's pretty straightforward really. Dollar goes up, £2 drop.
Yep.
And that's what we've got at the moment. So the dollar yen is the kingpin, leading the way. I think every trade that we've got going on, they all make sense. They're all healthy. There's no news for the day. The pound dollar is at its major support on one system, and then we're only about 10 pips away from another level of strength, support, sorry, on another system. So, mate, these are good to just hold, man. Set alerts halfway, check them in about an hour or two, and I think that's it. To be honest.
Yeah. No, I agree. The market's going to do its thing. So as Rich says, it's really good practice actually to get to a certain point and then literally walk away. Make sure your stops are in. Make sure everything's in. If you've got other things to do with your day, go on and start those other things, and then just come back and periodically check. That is the best thing. Rich and I, believe it or not, will not now go and sit here and stare at this all day long. Like when we end the show, we are genuinely done for the day. He and I will check our trades and check back in the market throughout the day, not coordinated though, on our own, right, Rich? The next time we actually look at the market together like this again won't be again until tomorrow morning, and we do hold true to that, don't we?
Well, the main this is our last chat, and for me, mate, it's all good. You've got one or two alerts on one or two of the currencies. I know. We check back now for the US Open because it's always a little bit turbulent.
Yep.
At least observe the sort of 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after about that half one. And that's it really, man.
Yeah. Cool. So, with that, does anybody have any questions? Jermaine just put dollars with the emoji with the dollar sign. All about the dollar bills, Jermaine. Well, listen.
I wouldn't advise eating money. You don't know where it's been.
Yeah, no.
We're in a pandemic. We're going cashless, man.
On that disappointing note, there goes my lunch. With that being said, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, happy Monday. If you like the session this morning, please go ahead and give us a like on the video, and don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. We get together, we do this every day, don't we, Rich? Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 11 a.m. GMT. This is the Forex Trading Lounge. As you can see, we have a good laugh, but we're serious guys, we're serious traders. We genuinely do this for a living. And so what you're watching is two traders, actually trading. This is not fluff. We are actually trading. We're actually putting our money where our mouth is. Putting our genuine cash on the line every time we take a trade. So if you're becoming a trader or you're looking to go to that next level, this is certainly a great place to start. So if that sounds like you, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that you never miss an update or when we go live. Okay. And with that being said, excellent, Jermaine subscribed. Excellent, Jermaine. Well, welcome, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Excellent, Jermaine says I'll be here every day. That sounds good, man.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Right, without any further ado, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, everybody. Stay warm out there. There's a lot of snow going around in the world at the moment, so everybody stay warm. And until tomorrow, you know the drill, folks. To your health, wealth, and happiness always. This is Christopher Guzman, your host, and
Rich Hooper,
your co-host, signing out and saying good day. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great, great day. And Rich, have a great day, mate. And
you too.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you later, dude.
Forex Trading Lounge, brought to you by Kickstart Trading. Have a great day, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.